Welcome and good evening, everyone. I am so excited to be here with you this evening and to welcome Danny Stone and reading from Glimpsing Another tonight. It's going to be an absolutely incredible evening. It's so wonderful to see so many familiar names in the comments and joining us right now on YouTube and also on Instagram. I'll also have you know that I've got lovely little sea creatures on my earrings this evening in honor of our incredible poetry collection, which features so many beautiful and powerful poems involving animals. And we'll get into that this evening. So official good evening. Welcome, everyone. My name is Catherine E. Schneider. I am the founder, editor-in-chief, and publisher of the Northeast Coast Literary Journal and Press. This summer, we are so excited to be announcing and introducing to you our first full season of poetry collections for winter 2027. Tonight, we are especially excited to introduce to you our next poet from the Winter 2027 lineup, Danny Stone. Welcome, Danny. Welcome.
Thank you.
And of course, Danny's incredible forthcoming poetry collection, Glimpsing Another. Welcome, 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 Danny.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
And Danny, where are you joining us from this evening?
From Melrose, just north of Boston.
From Melrose, just north of Boston.
Yep.
Fantastic. We've got many New York City folks this season, so it's
I'm
so
honored.
lovely.
Hopefully they can see their screens through the wildfire haze that's lingering.
Oh my goodness. Oh, yeah, you know, as you were saying just moments ago, Danny, as we were chatting, the sky was indeed yellow.
It was yellow.
And it was crazy. And gosh, I'm so sorry that I wasn't able to see so many of you out there at the New York City Poetry Festival. But we have incredible online events like this where nothing should stop us from seeing each other. And honestly, it has just been such a treat to chat with you, Danny. I'm so excited about Glimpsing Another and all that is to come in these coming months as we share the cover reveal this fall, as we prepare for pre-orders, and then as we celebrate your book release along with our other Winter 27 poets at the end of January. It's going to be truly incredible. So everyone, make sure you're following on all of our social media. Join our mailing list and make sure to stick around for this whole incredible reading and conversation we'll get to have with Danny Stone. Allow me to introduce Danny with his bio. Danny Stone has a special love for poems and stories that are set in a universe that feels simultaneously like our own and not quite like our own. In a world that often feels busy and chaotic, writing in this style gives him space to pause, reflect, and think about how he relates to everything else happening around him. Danny's publications include the poem A Civilized Meal, published in issue 1 of the Northeast Coast, as well as the novels Child Z, Strange Faces at the Windows, Safe in the Black Sand, Then Comes the Harvest, and 2 stories in Queen City Flash, as well as the story collection For the Love of Mary Brennan. Wow, Danny, that is amazing. Danny's author website, DannyStoneBooks.com, has information about the high school scholarship he supports, as well as author interviews on Foomfa Poets and Writers Live. That is one of my other groups where we have incredible, we've had incredible live streams and open mics for poets, writers, and others creatives. So interviews on Foomfa, Hellavella, The Easy Chair, and 102.7 WICY radio show. Danny has also done live readings of his work at Chapter and Verse in New Haven, a venue I also love. That's in Connecticut. And Glimpsing Another is Danny's first collection of poetry. We are so honored, Danny. We can't wait to hear you read. Take it away.
Thank you, Katie. So most poems in this collection depict a brief encounter between the speaker in the poem and something else. So that something could be a flower, a bird, an octopus, a clam. It's probably why we started talking about sea creature jewelry and apparel at the beginning. A tree, a river, you name it. It could be some kind of other that we are getting a glimpse of in the poem. And just a little background before I read. When I'm not writing poetry, I'm usually writing science fiction. So I like taking something that feels familiar.
Danny, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. I just want you to move your head a little bit towards in the middle of the vertical screen here too, for the people on Instagram. So sorry.
Is it centered? Or here.
There you go. Perfect.
Okay. Well, I didn't want to be that mysterious. So anyway, this is my face. I think some of my science fiction writing and poetry writing overlaps with I like, I could take something that feels familiar or normal, like a regular old Black-Eyed Susan, which you'll see, and turn it into something really weird and alien. Or vice versa, I could take something like an octopus, which, oh, that's so weird. Look at how alien it feels. And then kind of hold it up to myself like a mirror and realize we're not so different. So anyway, without further ado, here are some poems from the collection. The first one is called Scene. We're not sure what the animal is, hiding over there in the bushes, trying and failing to blend in. It's funny at first. Then we see it shivering, poised to defend itself, bothered by you, bothered by me, as it knows something about us we don't. The next poem is Black-Eyed Susan. Full sun, they say, the recommended exposure. Funny, you gave me a human name. My golden yellow beauty attracts you. Don't be fooled. My dark center is not an eye. You call it one because that's what you see. You always make things about you. Take me home, plant me, as if you can own me, as if you can own land. When summer comes, my wayfaring daughters infiltrate the neighbors' lilies. Good girls, my golden yellow beauties, it's all part of the plan. Next poem is called Equinox. The mourning doves have chosen this courtyard with its measly bushes and 3 brick walls to build their new homes. As I draft an email at my desk, the window cracked open, I hear them hustle, that unmistakable wing whistle, back and forth, scout real estate, building twig by twig, stem by stem, a place where their kids can grow up in safety with full stomachs and a fighting chance. The next poem is Glimpsing Another, the title of the collection. The octopus is photographed underwater, lone traveler on a backdrop of blue, deep sea alien dotted with iridescent rings. In the photo, a swish of bubbles around the body, 8 arms lacerating the liquid, its body, like mine, made of that liquid. Bulbous orange head, rectangular pupils taking in light, the suggestion of thoughts and worldview. How can this thing appear so alien when I too am a thing with arms, a creature with pupils taking in light, a lone traveler on a backdrop of blue? Next poem is called Backyard Coyote, inspired by real events. The rabbit's legs hang limp from your mouth as you pause, glancing this way, then that. perhaps worried your supper could end up in stronger jaws. You can't be too worried or hungry, though, or you would devour it on the spot. Is the rabbit a gift, a trophy, a souvenir? But there I go, underestimating you, anthropomorphizing you. I watch from the safety of my window, unaware of your motives, grateful to be unseen. I'll read a few more. Next poem is called An Offering. Go to the beach, shoes off, approach the water. Find a clam. They're easy to spot, strewn on the sand like stars in a cosmic ocean. Crouch at the water's edge, rinse the shell, lift it toward the sun, like a prayer, an offering. Let the sand coat your toes like breadcrumbs. Touch the shell, smooth, wet ceramic, curved organic china. Count the rings like a tree stump, like wrinkles around eyes. The shell in your hand is a house. I think I have a couple more minutes, so. Okay, this one's called River Cleanup. Volunteers wade with nets and scoops and spike-tipped poles. The river yearns to be clean and doesn't care who cleans it. In shallow spots, there's rage in the current, a liquid sweep that surprises. I am not a river. I watch from the shore, stopping on a morning walk. I think I will join the volunteers because some of that trash belongs to me, and because some of me belongs to the river. Maybe a couple more. Am I okay on time, Katie?
Danny, you are wonderful on time, and I am just loving your reading. And I so meant to pop up on here and do a big woohoo after glimpsing another. So special to hear it live after hearing it so beautifully in your announcement video all these weeks. Anyways, please proceed. I'd say
I'll
you've
do
got about two
one
or
or
three
two
more
more.
minutes.
Oh, okay. I'll do a
Yeah.
couple more. I'll do a couple.
Perfect.
Okay. Ocean Prayer. The crash of waves, briny hypnosis, nautical lullaby. The beach is tucked in by a cold blanket of moonlight. I make my approach. Great basin of origins, vast wash of blue, from which that first-legged thing emerged. You put us here, gargled us up on the sand. To be what? We made of your emesis a terrestrial tapestry. Do you know us anymore? The last poem I'll read is called What You Don't Like to Think About. Right now, in your dark kitchen, a bug scurries across grease-spotted linoleum, running over chemicals left by spilled potato chips. The capture of a crumb, followed by a pause to decide which way to safely run. Retracing one's steps is risky in this life. At sunup, colors of dawn dot the floor. The bug finds a gap in the wall to savor this meal and wait for you to go back to sleep again.
Danny, gorgeous. Okay, I'm clapping for everyone out there who just got to soak in these gorgeous, empathetic, deeply felt, powerful, yet so crisp poems. Danny, just
Thank you
so,
so
so,
much.
so gorgeous. And that was 10 minutes. It felt like 2 minutes because it went by in just that's how beautifully acute and crisp these poems are. They capture so much in kind of in small spaces. Observing these scenes, observing these creatures, having these revelations, you make it look easy to make poetry that acute, right? It's not easy. And you capture such beautiful moments of observation, moments of meditation that are so wistful, that are so tender. And honestly, like I almost had a tear in my eye hearing "Glimpsing Another," the title poem, live after watching the announcement video so many times, and just hearing the way that you read that and the way that you're observing that beautiful octopus. It's just so, so gorgeous, Danny. So hopefully you're feeling all of the love and you get to see all of those comments.
I can't wait to go look at them. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely. Well, enough of me chatting, Danny. I have questions for you.
Well, I hope I have answers.
Of course. All right. Danny, at what point in your life did you realize poetry was important to you and that you needed to write it?
Um, I've been writing for a long time, ever since I was a kid. I majored in English at the SUNY University of Buffalo, and people don't, I think, always think of, they might think of New York City or uh,
Sure.
when they hear writing, creative writing, poetry, but it's actually a real center for creative writing.
Amazing.
William Carlos Williams's Spectacles and Cane and
Wow.
manuscript are on display in the museum that they have there,
Amazing.
like in the Poetry Collection Museum. And Robert Creeley, I don't know if you know, like the
Oh,
Black Mountain Poets, Susan Howe, they all, he
that's
was a
incredible.
faculty member at University of Buffalo. And so I got to do poetry workshops, and we focused on some famous poets, also ones closer to Buffalo. And I think I just really enjoyed the people in the workshops. And
Mm,
I mean, you asked when I needed to write, but I really just wanted to more and more.
I
So,
love that. I love that.
sharing with other people, it was very collaborative. The creation of the poems, the just how they came to be. People
Right.
let themselves be open and vulnerable without worrying too much about forms,
Wonderful.
because a poem should be for everybody. So
Right.
kind of rid yourself of some of the stress that comes with, oh, I have to write this.
I
You don't
have
have.
to write it this way.
So that's where I learned that I could, and that I was writing poetry, and that I enjoyed it.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. I love that. You wanted to create poems and you had this incredible community that was so nurturing, so encouraging that you wanted to share it with. That is kind of just the best environment to be in. Um, when did you realize you didn't just have a group of poems with Glimpsing Another, you had a book?
Um, well, these poems were all written at different times, and
Yes.
not with a book in mind. So
Mm,
different days, different moods, and with a lot of them in collaboration with my longtime friend and writing partner Silas Mons, who founded Chapter and Verse.
Silas.
And you mentioned Chapter and Verse earlier, out of New Haven. That was it has been an amazing experience, a wonderful writing group to be a part of for now several years,
Yes.
especially at the beginning when I was still living in New Haven. Um,
Mm,
and I think there came a point, let's say a year or two ago, when I have a batch of poems, I have a folder on my computer, and just a bunch of stuff in it, and just thinking that there were a lot of poems popping out where there was an encounter, like I was
yep.
saying at the beginning, of the speaker in the poem with something, often an
Mm,
animal, not always, um, but whatever it is, just taking a minute to press pause from
yep.
the busyness of life, and sit with just the encounter, think about it, appreciate it
Yes.
for what it is, and then move on. So with that in mind, I started collecting those. And as I went through, I was like, oh, I have a lot of those. I guess I like writing those.
It's,
um,
it's the poems. Once you have a group of poems, they tell you what
yeah,
the arc of the manuscript is.
yeah, that's kind of
They
how it
tell you
happened.
what you're really about. You know.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love it.
yeah.
I
And
love
glimpsing
it.
another was one about the octopus that then I felt like, oh, this tells a story of a lot of these of the
Yes.
of the collection. So
It couldn't be a more perfect title. One thing about this collection is that it is so taut, right? Like everything, there's such a richness of imagery, but there's almost like nothing extra. As you said, you're diving into that moment, you're tapping into it, you're crystallizing it, and then
and move on. Yep.
and then you move on. It's so powerful, and in that way they're almost like these little meditations, these little almost like prayers without getting religious with it, you know.
Yep.
They're so special, and I'm sure even this evening, even that feeling of like time is going by but it doesn't feel like that, because these are such powerful little gems that we're getting to hear.
Well,
um,
yeah, that would be such a great, if someone read through and said, "Oh, I finished." Well, that was nice, and it's done. I mean, that's the highest form of praise that you could hope for, So
Oh,
for this
absolutely.
collection in particular, just yeah, enjoying the moments and diving in and moving on.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
and it's just so true what you said about having this group of incredible poems, and in it telling you what it is and what it's about, and throughout all of them, you see these different ways of seeing, even
yeah,
the imagery that we've used, sometimes intentionally, and then after the fact, like we were saying, that the animal or even the person is sort of looking at you from the side. It's
yeah.
such wonderful imagery. Danny, animals appear so vividly and memorably throughout your poems. How does an encounter with a creature become a poem? And you did touch on that earlier. What happens though between observation and the finished piece? What is that process like? When do you get to writing? Right away, or does it marinate?
Um, Not right away, majority of
Mm,
the time, and usually in when I'm um, starting to write a poem, especially with my writing partner, after we give each other some prompt, like on a random day, some memory or thought will be triggered, or I will
right.
just remember, oh, I did see um, a coyote run through my backyard, and I'm
Right.
going to write a poem about it now.
Yeah.
But it could have been 3 months ago.
Mm,
But it's like the prompting that happens leading up to writing that does it. And sometimes, and if I think about it long enough, like in the first one I read, Scene, there's an animal that's hiding. And
mm.
sometimes I can, I thought about like, oh, it's kind of neat to watch an animal try to hide, but they're not really hiding.
Right.
Like a rabbit under, like, I would have something in the backyard and it thinks it's hiding, it's not.
Right.
Um, it's funny. And suddenly it's like very sad. Uh,
Mm,
like, oh, it's not hiding, and well, that's sad.
right.
I can see it. If I
Right.
can see it, maybe an hour or other thing, and just like the fact that there can be such a range of emotions, just
Right.
that one, that
That one
it's also
encounter,
really
that one glimpse.
the one, yeah, that's a fun thing to write about for myself, that
Right.
you can have a whole range of emotions, that are not, or questions that you ask that are not easy to answer, or if there
Right.
are answers at all, that's not really the point. It's just to
Right.
kind of present the fact that we're having those feelings or seeing these things, and
Right.
having to move on because life keeps going, and it's a lot to there's not really time. to stop usually and think
And
about the
that
process.
is what is so special about this collection, is that in glimpsing another, like these kinds of small encounters that are so precious, that are so interesting, where there is so much to interrogate. These would not necessarily be the things that we're telling our best friend on the phone at the end of the day. It wouldn't be in the summary of what happened, and yet there's so much to be
Well,
mindful of and to explore in those encounters. And I think, your collection is kind of this like tacit call to to take an extra moment to kind of like be in these moments, and to remember them, to explore them. It's kind of a call to mindfulness in the midst of, in the midst of what you're observing and crystallizing. I love that. It is so beautiful and meditative, and it stays with you. It becomes, these little moments that you're then crystallizing. They become the thing to talk about, once you've captured it so powerfully. um, Oh, speaking of this, there's such a cute imagery and lyrical crispness in your poems. How do you get there? Um, how do you shape them into their final form, when you do start writing? When there is that moment where it's like, okay, I am going to write about this that I've observed, maybe a few months ago.
yeah.
How do you get it there? Is it first like a free writing flow, or do you tend to have your lines that kind of tight from the beginning, and
No.
tell me your secrets?
Now everybody needs an editor.
Yes, and
Um,
and we've mentioned your editing partner. This is something that is really a part of your
yeah,
process. And
it,
shout out to Silas Mullins, also a friend of mine.
it is. And we've been doing this for years. Most of these poems were written in 25 minutes on a timer on my
Whoa.
phone, uh, in their first draft, not
Okay,
what you
got it.
had. That's after prompting. We will pick poems, we read poems together. That gets thinking, talking about someone else's work, and then what we like about it, or don't.
Hmm.
Just and then from that conversation comes all
Hmm.
right, like I don't know if you've heard of the Pomodoro method, but set the timer
Yep.
and then write. Right. And whatever happens, happens. Sometimes we, it's like, oh my, I can't believe this happened. In 25 minutes, like this came out.
Right.
And I'll go back and let it sit and edit it later and know that I am going to be really happy about it. And sometimes it's just like when you have to exercise because it keeps you alive, or you have to eat a vegetable that you don't like because sometimes it's just not a dud, but like, because I think it's still worth doing. It keeps your muscles
It
flexed,
keeps the pen moving,
it keeps moving, and but it's not all excited to go back and edit. But then editing usually happens alone, trimming,
Mm.
and I like that process. Some people don't like it. Like I don't. I think it was in one of the poetry workshops I was talking about earlier that a
Mm.
professor was like, well, you've probably heard "Kill Your Darlings," but I mean,
Right.
she made us do it, like, and it was really like take your words and cross them out. And it's like, okay, oh my God. not my precious words, but it's really important to do. And at this point, I'm just like, okay, I wrote it, here it is, and now it's gone. So it's just kind of, um,
Right.
I don't believe that the first thing that comes out is necessarily like
Right. That you can't necessarily let it go for the sake of something else, or that you don't need to like bend something that's not working until it
no.
finally sort of works, but is
Move
kind of a
on.
Frankenstein monster. You know what I mean?
Write another one. Just write another one.
Just read another one.
Yep.
Danny, I love this process. That is a really specific and really interesting process. And may I say, a very teacherly process.
Yeah, I need guardrails and I need rules for myself.
For those not in the know, Danny's writing partner Silas Mullins and we were all ESL teachers for many years,
Back in the day,
although we
yeah.
may be doing other things now. And just having the approach of like reading a poem first,
Have your
getting
lesson
in the moment,
plan. Yeah,
setting a
it's
timer.
very teacherly. It's very teacherly.
teacherly,
Yeah.
but effective, right? Like right? That's it's
For
your
time
it's
for time management, yeah.
well, and it's produced these incredible poems, and and once again, shout out to Silas being such a great
Yeah,
a great partner in that, and that's so inspiring too, because that's not relying on waiting for inspiration. That's like getting the pen moving, having
yeah,
a friend to help you out,
yeah,
reading poems to make sure that you're engaging
yeah,
and tapping into something, and then not being afraid to let something go if it's not
yeah,
something great to run with and edit later.
yeah.
I think it's a great process, Danny.
Well, thank you.
All right, let's wrap up with this last question. What are you most excited for readers to experience when the book finally arrives in January 2027, Danny?
It's very exciting to think of people holding it in their hands, reading it. It brings me
I
so much
know.
joy to think about. I was another Northeast Coast poet who you spoke with, Elizabeth Janaz.
Yes,
When I watched her live stream, she said a poem can be about anything.
that's right.
And that's just like such a nice thing to remember and to take away from a
Totally.
collection of
Oh,
poems.
God.
Oh,
I didn't mean to trigger the fireworks. I don't know how I did
okay.
that. It was the thumbs up. I apologize.
Um, I mean, shout out to Elizabeth for causing fireworks, but um,
Shout out Elizabeth Janaz.
I think that yeah, the art. I mean, for me, being in the world, being alive is amazing, it's beautiful, and sometimes it's not. Sometimes I feel like
Mm,
I'm always here, but sometimes I'm in the flow, I'm with it, I'm among, and
mm,
then sometimes I'm disturbing things, or like I'm the alien and I've come here, I'm observing.
right,
I'm the one kind of out of place, and
right,
uh, in any case, I don't think that any of the subjects in the poems are neutral, including myself. Like we're all
right,
having an effect on, it
right.
could be the clam on the beach, the person in the car next to you, like waiting at the red light. But these are, um, there are little moments happening all the time. And
Absolutely.
it's fun sometimes to bottle them up, write a poem about them. And
Right.
a moment for me might not be the same as you, but there's something universal about it, and that makes it fun to share.
Danny,
So
that was just so beautifully said. And I'm so excited for people to get to experience Glimpsing Another, to be released January 2027, pre orders as of the end of October. And
that's where we
please
should have
do.
fireworks. No, it doesn't work.
Oh, when can I trigger them again? It was the thumbs up. You can never trigger
It
it
was
when
a
you want
moment.
to,
It's one off.
We should have ended with those
Yeah,
fireworks.
yeah.
But Danny, just so beautifully said,
Thank you so much.
said, and people are definitely going to see that, definitely going to feel that in this beautiful book. I can't wait for them to hold it in their hands as well. We're going to have such an incredible journey to January and then afterwards. So everybody, please keep following us on social media. Please share this with anybody who didn't get to see it live and catch the replay on YouTube. And just stay tuned for more from the Northeast Coast and from the amazing Danny Stone. Have a
Thank you
good
so
night, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you, Danny.
much. Bye bye.